Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And late last year, back in 2023, oh, Happy New Year, Milwaukee released, or announced at least, that they were going to release these new kinds of long-reach, cross-handle designed pliers. They have two needle nose, one the straight, you see here, one a bent nose, looks kind of like this, and then also three hose grabbing pliers that have this sort of an end in three different sizes. All of these are pretty long. They're 13 inches, and the part number on this guy here is the 48226540. To me, this is probably the most useful. Once you get into something bent, you're also reducing possibly the ability to insert it into a confined space, but it also might give you that extra you need. But anyway, let's take a look at it because it's kind of a fascinating design and it's very effective. First of all, on the front end, you've got a fairly large jaw here with a lot of activity going on it versus something kind of bland like on the snap-on here. So first of all, you've got some gripping teeth up here, one direction. Then you've got coarser teeth here. You've got two different sized round stock grabbing surfaces here, square stock grabbing, and then kind of the nut grabbing or bolt grabbing there. Now this is pretty aggressive up here. You can see some wood stuck in there. I'll show you what that's all about. But Milwaukee had a couple of different goals for these things. One is they wanted a really streamlined, highly accessible plier that you could insert, quite a ways into a very confined space, and you'd be able to do something once you got there. So they came up with this cross handle design. I don't know if they came. I mean, I think it's patented, but I have not seen anything quite like this in pliers, at least needle nose, before. Most of them are the traditional sort of X design. But what happens here, which is kind of interesting, is you can see this swell right here. As the plier opens, that actually gets smaller. So to kind of illustrate that, this is about 1 inch in diameter on this string roll here. If I insert this onto the plier, at this point, which if you look, I'm about that far into it here, almost all the way out, you can see right there. But the moment I start opening the plier, I can go in even further, and you can see the amount of jaw I can open up. So what I've got here, this is an 11/16 inch nut, as you can see right there. Once I get out there, I can literally, even with this, I can grab this thing and bring it all the way through. A 1 inch hole like that. So I've got a nut that's not too much smaller than the very hole that I'm working with. That's pretty incredible. Now, these pliers do put up an admirable attempt. So if I slide that in, that when it's all the way in, sticking out this much, that's as much as I can possibly open it. Obviously, as I start backing out, I can open it a little bit more and a little bit more. But the best I can do at this string depth, I can't even get this into the jaws of that. If I go to the big long snap-on, these here are the 915 CPs. I can insert those in. That's as far as they go. Closed, open. That's it. Can't do much of anything. These double jointed pliers, actually, even though these are bent, I can grab this pretty easily here, but I can't get it through there. If I shrink it down to this size, then I can slide this thing back and forth through a small tube like that. So you got to be able to do something once you get out there, but first you got to get out there, and that's where this thing is pretty incredible, to be able to slide it into a tube. I move it a hair more. Look at that, just instant in and out. So that's pretty amazing. Now another thing is the aggressiveness. That's part of you want to be able to grab something, turn something, hold on to something once you're out there. That was the other task really that Milwaukee had. So the way I'm going to try to demonstrate that is I got a little block of wood here. So I can grab this and be kind of rough, and you can see, I mean, this is behaving like a rasp. I mean, it really, try to get that in there. It's really aggressive. The way this thing grabs just makes them some sawdust. Here's the snap-on. The snap-on does have a finer tooth, so it does do a little bit to the piece of wood, not much. The larger one has got two different kinds of teeth here. This one's not quite as worn down. This one's an old one. Had this for a while. It's seen better days, but still good. So this actually nowhere near as aggressive. Now, if you are worried about damaging something, yeah, that's on you, but it does tend to really grab. Another thing think about is your hand size, you know, when opening this up. So if I've got my nut out there, this is about maximum comfort for using this. In fact, this is my preferred, this position here. If I switch my fingers around to get a little bit more reach, I can easily grab something like that and hang on, but that's the extent. If I go to my regular plier reach, the way I might, you know, operate something like this, just do that here, I can barely grab that. As you can see there, when I go to another plier like the snap-on, this one here, I can easily grab that. I've got more opening. If I go to this one here, I actually have less way out here, but this one's also designed to choke up and then no problem. So anyway, these Milwaukees I really think are going to be a hit. They're only about 40 bucks. You can get them at a bunch of different places. Home Depot carries them now, at least online. Acme Tool, Ohio Power Tool. They sell them individually for about 40 bucks, or you can buy a set of both the straight nose and the bent nose as a set, or you can buy the three individual or the three hose pliers as a set for about 100 bucks. That to me, if you've got a good need for long reach hose pliers, that seems like a pretty good deal. But anyway, there they are. These are the Milwaukee deep reach cross handle long nose needle nose pliers. And with that, Doc out.